hello again. You are now in I-5 The Heat. And this is week 4, this is chapter 4, this is take 4. And it's a new week, it's a new day, and we are here with you. I'm going to go ahead and bring in my co-host. Rayne, are you there?
I am here, and I am ready to talk about this week's topic. Looking forward to another great show.
Hello, just like always. Okay, and we also have eBay. eBay, are you there?
eBay is here.
What is my girl?
What's good?
Nothing much. I'm just ready to get this show going because it's going to be a hot one.
All right.
And we have, oh my goodness, we have RJ on bass. RJ, are you there?
What's up? I am present. I reported to school today to do some work. I will not be talking. I will not be getting up out of my seat without permission.
I'm so happy you are here with us today. How's everybody's week? How has everybody's week been?
Super.
Blessed. It's been a great week.
Yes, it's been a really good week. It seemed pretty slow at first, but I'm glad the weekend's here. What we are going to do is start with the show, and the hot topic for this week is who are more unfaithful, men or women? So I've done a little bit of research online, and I've read a couple articles. Resources say, as far as like AARP, I know that is the O.P.P magazine, but it came across my attention, and I just started reading their statistics. But what they have is 45% of men and 26% of women say they are attracted to one of their partner's friends and attempted to act on it. 33% of men, 19% of women said that they had sex outside their marriage. 46% of men and 19% of women who cheated said it was just because they couldn't help themselves. And,
wow.
I mean, that is some crazy statistics right there, but it seems overall, it seems like men are more unfaithful. What do you guys think?
It depends on the person and their level.
Right.
I just think that traditionally we've seen men being more unfaithful. When you watch movies, read books, or television shows, it seems like the men are the ones likely to stray. Also, in real life, that's the way that it seems. It seems very, to me, it seems very rare when you hear about a woman cheating. It does happen, but it just seems like there's more instances of men cheating, so I'm actually not surprised at all by those statistics. I feel like they could be. RJ on base, you got something caught in your throat? It seems like there could be.
No. I didn't do that on purpose. I'm sorry.
It is probably an inaccurate study. I don't know if it was done by AARP. But like I said, that's just the way that it seems in public, that women don't cheat as often as men. However, I have female friends, and they tell me about, how they get it in on the side. So I wonder how truthful people were in answering these questions, because it could be higher as far as both sexes.
Really, when you look at it, there's no research that needs to be even done on that, because fundamentally speaking and scientifically speaking, it couldn't possibly be one over the other. Who are the men cheating with? Who are the women cheating with? So in every case of cheating, there's a man and there's a woman there. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it goes back to what Ebony said. It's the person, or whoever said that. It's just the person, how they feel about a relationship. It's loyalty. Loyalty says that you don't look at your friend's partner. You don't secretly do it. You keep yourself at a respectful, level with all females. If you're a guy, keep yourself with all females if you're in a relationship. And women, it's the same thing. So It's a matter of loyalty, you know what I'm saying?
But what about the women out there that are cheating with men, but they don't know that they're cheating because the men have been untruthful about their status, whether they're married or if they have a girlfriend or significant other. So I think that's, some of it too, that, men might not be upfront with certain situations.
So
yeah, that's where it comes from, where the levels come in. If you're on a communicating level, if you both are understanding adults in the situations, if y'all communicating properly with each other, you would know where you stand and what title you guys hold. So there wouldn't be any type of miscommunication, or you cheated on me, or, you cheated on me, he cheated on me, so I'm going to cheat on you,
Right. But, just to be fair, women do it, too. They may not tell the person that they're attracted to or the person they meet in a bar that they are indeed married. So the men could be out of the loop and may not know that that person is already with someone, just as is a man does it. Although men do it more, I think. So I don't know.
RJ, do you want to defend your gender?
No, not really, because I'm not even in that realm of that type of behavior. I'm not a cheater type of person, so it's unfortunate. I just think it's unfortunate that anybody would betray someone that has earned their trust or whatever you want to call it.
But what about your male friends? Do they ever talk about how they might?
No, my male friends, my circle of friends are very spiritual individuals, and they're like me. Their lifestyle doesn't involve cheating and all that stuff. We don't do that stuff. So
that's good.
I surround myself with people that I try to be like, So yeah,
someone
my
of
friends.
like mind. Yeah.
I can definitely say that my friends, those are some good guys, and it would be not a thing that I'm saying we're perfect. I'm not saying that at all. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying what we strive for and what our lifestyles are as guys who love women, we, in a respectful way. My best buddy and I, we both want, we want to marry a nice woman. But in the meantime, we're not out there, clubbing it up and all up in every female's face and, kicking it with every female. It's like we have a real respect. Our female friends are the same way. So our circle, if you want to call it that, we good. We all cool like that. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm. Okay, eBay, what do you think?
I agree with him. It's partially the company that you keep, because they can be, they can contaminate the relationship and your thought process of the relationship. And it depends on the loyalty of the people, because, people always say, especially females, well, a man is weaker and all this other stuff, but this doesn't get weak too. And then it depends on the situation. Your loyalty shouldn't be shaken by situations and, people getting frustrated with things, everyday life and everything like that. If you're loyal to somebody, you're loyal, no matter what. And if you have morals and standards, you have morals and standards that shouldn't be changed by different people. So that's where I stand with it. If you're really interested in this person, if you want to be loyal, you're going to be loyal.
Right.
When you're looking at a marriage, you're looking at a marriage, which everybody's imperfect, so things can happen. But generally speaking, if you're in it for the other person and what you can do for them, you know what I'm saying, and you don't have this sense of self-entitlement or a mistaken, you're not mistaken about just how much you're supposed to be getting out of it, then chances are that marriage is going to thrive, and you're not going to be trying to figure out how to, you know what I'm saying, do something like that. So when you go out, it's a daily thing, and it's a daily mindset. So when you go outside the door, and we're imperfect, you're still attracted to other, women are still going to find other men attractive than their husband, of course. Let's face it, right? But you got to have a certain kind of code of your own personal code of how you deal with when a man is flirting with you, or when you get caught off guard and you turn around, you in the office and you turn around and there's a man standing right there in your face and He may have flowers for you. He may whatever it is that you know will affect you. And same thing with guys. What are you going to do if you're a delivery guy and you go to a house and you got to deliver something and there's this female there that you know you find attractive, but you're married? You got to already have in your mind how you're going to deal with that kind of stuff. So,
right.
I mean, I can't sit here and I don't know where all these numbers are coming from or who's doing what, but I agree with whoever said earlier. It's probably the mindset that men are more like that or something. I mean, that's probably what it is, but what like Ebony said, it's the person, it's loyalty, and you got to train yourself to be loyal. You got to be determined that even when your marriage is going through a rocky time, that it's not about you, it's about both of you and how you're going to fix it. And then you don't have time to think about anybody else.
Right. I think, like everyone is saying here, it's a balance. It's men or women are equally unfaithful or they're faithful. It depends on the person. But I think that as far as getting caught, men get caught way more easy than women do, because women, I think we're more planners than anything. So if a woman is going to go that route, she's going to plan the whole situation out, because as far as we are concerned, you know, that's how we live our lives every day in everything that we do. So if we are about that drama or we are about cheating on our significant other, you know, you're going to have it planned out. A woman's going to have a plan. Men don't plan. They think one way. They think with the wrong thing, if you know what I mean. So, you know, they just, like, go for it. I think that's why they continue to
women
get
are planners, because women are planners, and they probably got this thing 5 months, 5 years. I'm just playing. But because they're planners, that's why in my case it would be zero getting back together. I will 100% forgive. We good friends. See you around Walmart whenever I'm in there, my favorite place. But that is a done deal, because you planned this, and that means that guy meant something to you for that long, and it wasn't just a mistake, and it's like, over. That's me.
Okay, well, I would like to jump in here now. I would definitely like to retweet what Jazz said about men maybe don't have it planned out so great, so that's why they get caught more easily. Women, I think there is a lot of thought that goes into it. I think they kind of weigh the pros and the cons. And I do think what RJ on base was saying, that there is like an emotional factor there. So if a woman is planning to cheat on her man, usually it is not about something physical. It's something emotional that, you know, that she might be lacking, or something that this other man is offering. And I do think, like, there is a thought process that goes through, and it's not just a spur-of-the-moment type thing where it might be for a man, that men don't think things out as much as women do, and therefore they get caught because they do stupid things. Women, they could have, like you said, RJ, they could have it planned for a few months in advance, and the man in the relationship might not ever be the wiser.
Women generally, nothing women do. Women are always 5 steps ahead of men, always. So whatever's happening today, we got to realize that this has always been in her mind. You know, it could be she just she just gets up and leaves. She didn't just get it. She didn't wake up today and at around 1 o'clock in the afternoon say, "Oh, let me leave." She been made those plans. She's got her suitcase packed. You just don't know it. She knows exactly where she's going. Women are good like that. Like you said, Jazz, they're planners.
Right. So that leads me into a question that came about. A woman had asked a question. She's married, and the question is, you know, it's been approximately 12 years since me and my husband have had sex. He is the one that doesn't want it. Unfortunately, I am isn't that weird? I am a very sexual and sensual person. I don't want a divorce, but it's frustrating, and I'm considering finding someone who will give me that affection and intimacy I crave. What do I do? So, what do you guys think?
Wow. I just think that whole alienation of affection, I think that's grounds for a divorce or grounds for an affair. Just kidding. But, I mean, I think that, her husband, obviously, she's talked to him about it, and if he's not willing to make it shouldn't be a sacrifice, but if he's not willing to try to make her happy, I don't know. I feel like she should move on and find someone who is willing to meet her needs. I don't know if it's a medical issue for him. Like, I would really feel that if my husband didn't want to sleep with me, that, there could be someone else. So they need to have a real heart-to-heart and, she needs to tell him how she's feeling and say that, she's at her breaking point. 12 years is a long time.
Right.
12 months is a long time. 12 days is a long time. So there's something going on, and I'm sure it's just not the whole physical aspect of the relationship. There's probably some emotional stuff there, too, and so maybe if they talk about it, he can say, oh, well, this happened, and, maybe I'm not attracted to you anymore. If that's the case, then I don't think they should just be married just to stay married.
Right.
Yeah. So just a conversation needs to happen before
does
I
anything. Agree with you, Rayne, because first of all, we don't know the whole situation. Like you just said, he could have an illness, he could be sick that's causing him. He could be taking medication that's causing him to suppress his emotions and sexual drive. So we don't know the situation in its entirety. But let's say, for the record, let's just say there's nothing wrong with him. If there's nothing wrong with him, and it's been 12 years since you've been married, and it's been 12 months, or it's been 3 years that you guys have not had sexual relations, then and it has something to do with another topic or whatever, like you just said, Rayne, a conversation needs to be taking place between the two. And if that conversation has been taking place, he obviously knows how she feels about it. He obviously knows that she wants to be intimate with her husband, but he's the one that doesn't want it. So if that's the case, then I think that's grounds for divorce. Instead of committing adultery, go ahead and divorce the person that's causing you harm. Divorce the person that's causing you heartache. And because if you can't resolve it, don't resort to cheating on the relationship. Just go ahead and get out completely, and then you do things the right way, then you can be blessed. So I don't think being a dog is the right way to go. I think go ahead and take all the proper channels and put them into place, and then move on. That's what I think. eBay, what do you think?
I can use my own past experience for an example for this one. She says she's been waiting for 12 years. Like you said, say for example, there's nothing wrong with him health-wise or anything like that, physical. That's keeping him from doing his physical job that he's supposed to be doing to satisfy his woman. He's messing with somebody else in my book, and there has to be an intervention, and it should have been one a long time ago, because I was married. I have an ex-husband, and the last 40 days of our marriage, we did not even sleep in the same bed together. We didn't have sex. We didn't kiss, hug, nothing. And I tried everything in the book. I made him dinner, met him at the door after he came home from work, naked. I tried everything, and he wouldn't even give me a second glance. And I found out after I separated from him after that 40 days that he was in a relationship with somebody else the whole 3 years that we were together.
Okay.
So
that's another subject that we didn't even consider. That the man might be the one that could be possibly in another relationship. That's why he hasn't even touched his wife. So we didn't think about that factor.
Wow.
RJ?
Well, I mean, it's how productive is it to sit around and really try to accuse someone of something you have no proof of? But I will say this: when people take marriage vows, how many really understand what that's all about? I mean, marriage is about a lot of things, and that particular subject is only one part of marriage. So it doesn't excuse a person to go out and certainly get a divorce over that. It doesn't excuse a person to go out and cheat ever. So it's like it's another thing of when a person takes a vow and says, you're going to be with this person regardless. You know what I'm saying? That's one of those unfortunate things, but a person is going to have to figure out how to exist in that marriage, and there could be a lot of different reasons for why it happens. But even if it's something that the other person is being, they're being deliberately, malicious or whatever, a person is, it's a tough thing they have to deal with. But it just doesn't excuse going out there and getting a divorce or going and cheating. That's never the answer.
Don't divorce your spouse because they're not giving you any.
Right. That's not what I don't think any of us are saying. I think what we all would want to say first is that a conversation needs to be had. You need to work through your issues that you have within your marriage as much as possible. I mean, because you did take that vow to be with that person for life. And I mean, I personally do not really believe in divorce unless it comes to something where the person is hurting you or the person does cheat on you, But outside of those two things, I really don't believe in divorcing your partner because you did make that oath. So, I mean, I'm willing, outside of someone committing adultery against me, outside of that, or someone harming me or any children or anything like that, I'm willing to work on having a marriage with my spouse. But, this question is just it's so open, it's so wide open. We don't know what else is involved. So, yeah. Of course, don't divorce your husband.
What you're saying, Jazz, is true. It lends itself to a lot of work because, like, what if a person finds themselves in a loveless marriage? Like, what if a guy said to himself, she don't see me the way she used to. She don't act like she used to. She don't whatever. One of the first things he needs to do is think about what did he do to impress her in the beginning? Is he still doing those things? Fundamentally, is he a good husband? You know what I'm saying? A provider, a good, if he's a parent, is he a good father? All of that, because women cannot sweep things under the rug. Women are gonna, however things are going, that's how that woman feels that day. You know what I'm saying? They don't put stuff on hold. Y'all don't put stuff on hold. If there's a hole in the rug and right out where everybody can see it, nobody in the family is going to be happy till that rug is fixed or replaced. It's just like everything has to be the way it is. So he has to think about what is he doing, nowadays, 10 years later, 10 months later, whatever, that he wasn't doing before, if there's anything. So that personal inventory, but then, the one and two, they have to ask themselves when they sometimes when people are dating and courting, they're doing everything they can to get that person. You know what I'm saying? And we know that. That goes without saying. But are they really thinking about after they say I do, what life is going to be like? Some people are really in love with the idea of marriage. They're in love with the idea of a wedding day, unfortunately. Everything is about the wedding day, the dress, the tux, the cake, all of that. And then they're not thinking about what are we going to do after that. So, if they find themselves in a loveless marriage, it cools off after a while. Both people have to be willing to say, what am I doing for the other person to get back that spark that we had? Or if you don't have that, you don't see that person the same way anymore, what is it that drew me to that person from the jump? And, how can we spark this thing back up? Because like you guys said, and like I feel, divorce is really not an option unless somebody go out there and cheat. So you're going to have to work. It's work, man. Work, like marriage is work. No matter how much money people got,
right?
No matter how much material things they have, that has nothing to do with love, showing a person love and being selfless and working at it. You know what I'm saying? So it's not easy, man. But it's rewarding, but it's not easy.
But you know
I'm not
what?
an expert. I'm not an expert, by the way. I just want to get that disclosure out there. I'm not an expert.
People do get comfortable. You know, it's the representative effect. You know, at first you try to be that person so you can get that person, and then once you get comfortable with who you're with, then all of a sudden you turn into Al Bundy. Am I right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So, like what RJ is saying, you need to go ahead and try to figure out what you did at the beginning to keep that person happy, how you won that person over. But you have to continue that. Not to say you have to do it every single day, but you have to let that person know that you still love them and you still adore them. And you have to do special things for them because marriage is work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a job in itself just like everything else, but you have to keep it up, keep the positive stuff on a regular so that mate won't get that brush off energy, like, okay, let me go ahead and do this, before they start being suspicious or start asking questions,
Yeah,
So that person that you're really there for them on a regular basis, because that's what's going to keep the spark, that flame burning.
Yeah, Ebony. I mean, like, that has to take place even before a person get in a relationship, period. Like, how many times we be on Facebook, those of us that are on there, and we see how people, and I'm not knocking anybody because it's good that they're looking at this, but sometimes I wonder if some individuals are looking more at what they want out of marriage because they'll put up these posters about, like if it's a guy, he'll put up what a real woman does or what a real wife does, and women, what a real man does. And it's like, post after post after post is about the opposite gender because that person wants to be in a relationship. So they have really clear in mind what the other person's supposed to be doing. But before a person even gets in a relationship, what about asking themselves, honestly, what do I want to contribute to a marriage? How do I want to take care of a person? What if we say I do on Saturday and on Monday that person is paralyzed? What am I going to do? You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's like you got to condition yourself beforehand, and if I get married again, that's what I'm working on now. I'm working on myself because while I'm waiting, I mean, I'm not going to date until I'm ready. I'm saying I'm ready, but every day that I don't have a relationship is another day for me to work on me. And, I mean, I agree with what you're saying. It's work.
Yeah, I feel you on that one. There's so many people, they look for, they love the image and they love the view of marriage. But like I explained to plenty of people about my marriage, we look cute together, we look beautiful together, but if you're looking at the physical, it's sort of like a Beauty to Beast story. You have to you're still getting to know that person. People have to understand that person's not going to be nice all the time. You have to learn. You have to know yourself first and foremost, because you can't be going out there saying, okay, I want a king. I want somebody that's going to work, somebody that's going to cherish me, somebody that's going to be loyal to me, but you're not prepared to do it yourself. If you're not a queen, how are you going to find a king? How are you going to know what a king looks like and how they act?
Right, and I really agree with what all of you are saying. I feel what RJ on base was saying about that you have to still court the person. We're just all speculating on what went wrong in this marriage, but it could be that the guy really just doesn't know. Like maybe something within him, maybe he doesn't feel attractive anymore to his wife. Maybe he feels that, he's a little bit embarrassed or self-conscious about being intimate with her. So it could be something just as simple as that, where he doesn't realize that, he still needs to do this to make his wife feel like she's desirable, because by the fact that, he's not wanting to be intimate with her, she's probably going to have insecurities and doubts about her own appearance. So, I really, really wish that, if they do have that relationship where they can communicate, that they can talk to one another. If she feels, maybe she can't reach out to him, or if he's just not listening to her, then I would suggest therapy for them to kind of have some sort of mediator who can help them out. It could be something, he could be stressed out at work and just not have that drive anymore. So
right.
Yeah, and that's where the friend aspect comes in too. I mean,
right,
you have to be friends before you become partners, Because if you're friends, you can talk to each other about anything. If there's any, I'm not confident in myself, my physical appearance, or anything like that anymore, if it changes throughout the relationship, you guys can talk to each other and work on it yourself. Or like you said, go to counseling, have a mediator, give you some ideas of what to do to get that spunk back in you, or something that you can do to make each other comfortable again,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe they can spice it up a little bit. Yeah,
that would be highly recommended, opposed to, a woman feeling insecure, like Rayne said, about herself because her husband doesn't want to touch her. And then when a woman feels that way, they want to explore outside a relationship and say, well, is there something wrong with me or is it him? So let me go out and see if another man wants to touch me. So that's the situation that could be playing.
And I'm just, from my own personal experience, there's nothing like someone making you feel desirable or giving you a compliment. So if she starts, getting compliments, people at work or something, and she's already feeling like she might be undesirable, it might not take that much to push her from being someone who's curious about having an affair to someone who's actually having an affair. And I think, her husband really needs to realize that. Like, if he, loves her, doesn't want to lose her, then, even if he says, well, baby, I don't feel like, having intercourse, but here, let me put my arm around you, let me cuddle with you, let me hold you to let you know that I do care about you.
Affection. Yes.
Yeah, affection is really important.
Yeah, but like I just said before, some men are lazy, and then they will go ahead and have that Al Bundy effect, and they won't do anything at all, but then become blindsided when their woman is stepping out. And they don't even see the signs, which is beyond me.
And if they don't see the signs, then they won't see the error in their ways that caused the female to do what she did. That's why I continuously tell any male that I know, or any female for that matter, you have to look at it from both ends. You're really one whenever you guys get together, because you're not only looking out for yourself, you're looking out for that other person too. Just like you're being lazy and you don't want to do all the work, that other person can feel that same way sometimes. So eventually, you're going to have to meet at a middle ground with just about everything, especially with a physical is concerned. You got to put in work just like I got to put in work.
That's right.
Right, and I know guys who maybe aren't affectionate, don't show their affection, but they have to realize too that if they're in a relationship with someone, it could mean a lot to that person to say, I love you, or to say, you look nice today. So sometimes, just like what eBay was saying, is that you have to make a compromise. It might not be something that you're used to doing, but if that's what your partner needs and desires, go ahead and do it. Don't be so selfish.
Right.
So, I mean, that's a perfect segue into the next topic. It really doesn't have much to do about being married, so don't take it that way, but it's more about on the relationship side, just maybe dating someone, because we don't want to break up happy homes. So, with the dailymail.com, they say women take about 6 days to end a relationship, but men drag the situation out for a whole month. And why do you think this is? Men are agonized over their decision, and most are tactful with the way they dump someone, and they need about 10 days to build up the courage to do so. Women have more emotional honesty, and they make snap decisions. And 3/4 of women believe short, sharp, shocking, short, how to explain that? A short breakup, or not, I don't mean to say that. I mean to say if they make a decision quickly about ending a relationship, it's less painful. So instead of dragging it on for days and days on end. And so, one and 6 men would stay in an unhappy relationship for 6 months if they see a glimmer of hope. When us women, if we feel that we're not happy, we are quick to make a snap decision. What do you guys think about that?
I find I know ladies first always, but if I could just in this case break that rule, and me being a man first on this one, because I find that totally opposite data of what I know of women. I mean, first of all, as we established earlier, women are planners. That speaks to women don't make snap decisions. Women take a long time just to give you their phone number. And then when you have the number, it take a long time before they even talk to you on the phone. And then by the time you get this woman's heart, she's not trying to get out of no relationship in no 6 weeks or 6 hours or whatever the thing said. Women take longer because they don't make rash decisions most of the time. Men probably will be the one who's quicker to walk away. But I'll say this. It's not that it makes a woman any less, wise or anything. It's just that women, when they have their heart set on something, they want it to be productive. They want it to work. And so they're not quick to just throw in the towel. So they're the ones who's going to be in it for 6 months or take 6 months or whatever. I've seen, unfortunately, women stay in relationships that were really bad for them. And you just sitting there like, what are you doing? Why are you in that? And, I just can't agree with that data because women are much more calculated than that. They're much more, they're thinkers and they feel the situation out. They give the man the benefit of the doubt. They forgive. And a lot of times I don't see women just jumping out of relationships like that. Otherwise, there'd be a bunch of free women around. But no, I don't agree with that.
Okay, well, if I can go next. Oh, go ahead.
I think it goes both ways, depending on the loyalty that a female or a male has to the relationship. Honestly, I think it's a whole lot more of a true percentage on the male end because my whole life I've seen males, I'm not bashing all of them, but the ones that do tend to stay in relationships, they stay in relationships because they love the attention that they get from that other person. Even if it's dramatic, they love for somebody to be giving them some type of attention. If they're not getting it from somewhere else, they're going to stay in it. Even if they are getting it from somewhere else, they're going to hold on to that past relationship because they don't like to let go. That's their property. That's theirs. They're going to keep it. And if they have to add on, they're going to add on. Now,
I see what you're saying. You're talking about the cat that won't take no.
I'm not speaking for the king. I'm not speaking for the king. Kings, definitely, they know what they want. If it's not provided, they're going to try their hardest to get it. And if it's not provided still, they're going to move on. Now, females in that situation, queens, they do the same. But any less of the same, if it's females in that situation, they're going to stay there. And my whole view, my saying of it is people who stick with an unsafe situation or uneven situation, an unfair situation, they're either confused or they're settling for mediocre because they're afraid to move on to the next level.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm. 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 Now, once women are done, they are done. I'll say that. But like she said, there are guys that will not let the relationship be over. So that she's with a new guy, and he's still calling and harassing her and, all of that stuff, which she has a lot of control over that. She needs to make herself inaccessible. But I agree with once they get to the point that they decide they're going to break up, women are done. It's over. But it takes them longer. It takes them longer to reach that decision. Whereas guys, they can be around for 10 years after the breakup still harassing the girl. That's kind of messed up. Yeah, I agree with that.
Well, I think one thing as well with men, well, some men, not all men, but I think one reason why men may stay around a little longer is because you might have some deadbeat men or just nothings, and they stay around because the women, they are the providers. They work their behinds off, and they sitting around, like I said, like Al Bundy, at the house watching TV. And a woman may not end a relationship because she doesn't know what's out there. She's been used to this situation for X amount of years, months, whatever, and go ahead and just deal with it for the time being. But like what you said, RJ, when we're done, we are done. But
hold up. I'm not an Al Bundy. I don't really,
no.
I don't agree with a lot of stuff Al Bundy. I don't agree with a lot of stuff Al Bundy is about, but he was a worker. I mean, Peg or whatever her name was, she ain't paying for all that.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I meant as far as just sitting around the house. When I say Al Bundy, I'm not saying that.
But see, y'all don't like for a dude to work 55 million hours a week and then come home on Friday and sit down. Like he got to be doing something at all times, and it's like, no, there's got to be a chill out time. You know what I'm saying? The man his feet was probably tired. You know what I mean? And
I can understand that.
He's trying to watch the basketball game.
With his woman.
If he's trying to watch the basketball
with his woman at all, then that's like not fair. It was like that's not a relationship at all. So that's why I say Al Bundy effect.
Yeah, I know. I agree. I know what you're saying.
So, but, some men can just sit around while the woman is working, and he may not even have a job, or he may just have some dead-end job, and the woman is really working her butt off to provide for her family. I mean, not so much him, but for her children and herself, and he's just sponging off the fact that he has a place to lay his head. So that's why men may not, leave a relationship so soon or when it needs to be over, because he may be a dog and he may leave and be cheating on that woman, but he's over there trying to feel it out with the next woman and say, can she take care of me better than what my old lady at home? So
why is she subjecting herself to that? That's what I want to do. Why would continue to subject herself to that? She needs to bounce. Somebody needs to bounce.
Right. But we, women, we do get to that point where it's the straw that broke the camel's back, and then we just be done. We're done with the whole situation. We're done with dealing with that mess, and we rather be by ourselves. You get to an age where you're like, I'm done with all of that. It's about me. It's about my kids. And I'm just going to go ahead and provide for us. Now, if that man comes along that can build me up and I can build him up, then kudos. But somebody that's going to sit around and really don't have anything going for themselves, we may sit around for a minute and be like, I can't believe I'm dealing with this mess. But then we'll eventually get to the point and be like, okay, it's done. It's a done deal. You've got to bounce. So
Can I give you all a real life story?
Yes.
This is my story, okay? So I'm real sensitive about this. I had a really good girlfriend, and she pleaded with me. She pleaded. Now, I was working. I was doing it has nothing to do with working. She, because I'm a musician, she didn't really care for me being in that, but she was tolerating it. But when the show is over, how about take your girlfriend out to eat or whatever, go to Walmart, do something. But that wasn't happening, and she pretty much was telling me she's trying to stay with me. She just wants me to make her feel like she matters, you know what I'm saying? So, like an idiot, because I did love her. We were supposed to get married. So she stuck around. And when a woman tells a guy, for the listeners out there, when a woman tells you, when she gives you a warning, unlike these women we talked about earlier who plan stuff and then they're gone, this woman wasn't like, this is a good woman. She told me in advance, it's going to be over. She said, one day you're not going to be able to even speak to me. I'm like, yeah, whatever. So, she let some months go by, and then it was done. She went out there, and she ended up being in another relationship. even at that point, she told me she would rather be with me, but by then she was too far into the other relationship that I could not get her back. And my band at that time ended up doing a song by R. Kelly called When a Woman's Fed Up. And that song has, a lot of meaning to me now because he's right. When a woman's fed up, there's nothing you can do about it. Do y'all feel sorry for me? I don't hear anybody crying or saying, "Oh, sorry, RJ." I don't feel the sympathy. But anyway, I agree. I mean, once women get there, it's over.
Rayne?
Yeah, I actually feel, just taking in all of your comments, what I was going to say is that I disagree with, or actually I was going to say that I was surprised with this statistic, but then I thought about my own experiences, and I feel like men will hang on a lot longer, but what I believe is that usually when men leave, it is because there is another female, so they're going to try to hold on to see if they can keep both females. So they'll hold on to a dead relationship to see how far it can go. Women, on the other hand, I feel like what RJ on base was saying, it does take us a long time to make up our mind. But again, we are planning our exit. So it might hit the men like a ton of bricks when we leave, because when we're done, we're done. But it could just be that they have missed the warning signs of us being fed up. So I think that, I guess I'm actually not surprised by the survey, is that probably the people who were questioned were probably like, yeah, man, it completely caught me off guard. She just picked up and left. No, she was probably thinking about this for months, planning, where am I going to stay, what am I going to do, who am I going to be with, looking for that next person. So it probably wasn't as suddenly as they thought. They were just, unfortunately being lazy and missing the signs that the woman had had enough.
Good point. Very good points there. And, I mean, there is another way of looking at this. How about what you had, some information that you had, Rayne?
Yes, about the topic that we talked about last week.
That's right.
Okay, yes. Last week we talked about Khloe Kardashian and Lamar Odom. What has been the most recent information revealed is that they have called off their divorce. She was dating NBA player James Harden, and after Lamar got sick, she decided to basically take care of him. So the question that I want to ask is, would you nurse a sick ex back to health?
RJ?
Well, it depends on the circumstances. I mean, once a friend, always a friend, but if we're talking about an ex-girlfriend and she has a relationship or I have a relationship, I'm not in that. But if we're both single and there's anything I can do to help her and her family, of course. I mean, anybody that's a friend of mine, whether I'm in when we're talking about females, whether I'm in a romantic relationship with them or not, I have to be there for them in any kind of situation possible. So, yeah, I mean, fundamentally the answer is yes, but it just depends on the circumstances, like who's around her, saying, like if she's got a guy who's now part of her life, I don't need to be there, I won't be there. I will show my respect and everything like that, but that's him now. He has to be there.
Right. Well, for me, heck no.
What?
I ain't taking care of no ex. No, not happening. Now, okay, I'm being funny, but I would say that if my ex was like still a really good friend of mine, yes, definitely, I would take care of an ex. But to take care of someone that maybe wronged me in some kind of way, nah, you better find the next broad that
Right.
I mean, that's not her ex, that's her husband. So if she chose to forgive him for whatever the allegations are, I mean, just because a person cheats doesn't mean you have to divorce them. You can forgive them. So I respect what you're saying, but I'm saying, like, in her case, that's not exactly her ex even right now. So she's like, okay, let's reverse this thing and let's slow this down and go backwards. I think I applaud that. If everything is on the up and up, I applaud that.
I applaud that as well, but like I say, for me, I'm speaking on a totally different level because we don't know all the logistics of their relationship, you know. So we don't know. I mean, you keep seeing the tabloids as far as like Lamar cheated and Chloe cheated and she's with him and he's with her, and we don't know if someone's cheated or not, if they decided to apologize to each other and accept each other's apology, and that's great for someone else. But I know for me, if someone was to wrong me as far as like maybe adultery and I'm married to them, I am not taking care of them. I'm taking care of me. So
right.
That's what I'm saying for me. Now, if I had an ex and that person didn't do me wrong, we couldn't get along, and it was, amicable where we separated, I don't mind. I will go ahead and take care of them because obviously I still have feelings for that person. I will still love that person as a friend, and maybe a little more because we were together. And I will do everything in my powers to be there for them and help them out any way possible. But for someone who, like I said, who has wronged me, nah, let them go to the next person.
I would agree with that because, I mean, that's just, I don't know how to explain it. Like with my ex-husband, I found out after separating from him for almost 2 months that he had lymphoma cancer. And I attempted to help him, even though I didn't want to. He cheated on me, dragged me through the dirt. I didn't do anything to contribute to him doing anything that he did wrong or anything. I attempted to help him. But when you take my kindness for weakness, which in the majority of the situations where that person has cheated on you do, they tend to take your kindness for weakness. You give them a hand, they take the whole arm, type of situations like that. There's no helping them. So from my side of it, I wouldn't want to help them because not out of spite and what they did to me, it's just I know their nature. Right. So, no, I wouldn't help them.
Well, I mean, everybody has to decide for themselves, but I'm looking at it like this. It's a human life, and we're talking about a health issue now. We're not talking about a social thing like help me get my business off the ground or come to my show. Or this is like, yo, this person is sick. So some people have gotten to the point where they are divorced, and even though they were wrong, they have gotten to a point where that person is not going to bother them to be around the person if they have to be, or even help them in some humane way. Like, all right, if I see this person broken down on the highway and it's raining, I'm stopping and I'm helping her. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I have to do that for her just as a human being. But now if she's like, yo, can you, give me $100 to go to Walmart and buy some groceries? Now it's like, well, hold up. You got family. What's going on with that? You got a job, blah, blah, blah. I'm not that guy. But we're talking about a sick man here who's in a hospital bed or whatever the case is, and that's the only reason why I'm saying, like, I'm not going against what any of you are saying, but the reason why I could rock like that, and I can go ahead and even though if she did me wrong, I could still do that because just looking at it from that standpoint, if she genuinely didn't have anybody else, and I'm aware of her dilemma, I feel like I have to do something. But again, that's why I said circumstances. What am I doing stepping in to my ex's life when she's got family, she's got friends? Why am I going and nursing her to health when why is that my role when she got a family? So It just depends on what's going on.
Well, I agree with you on that. You a stand-up man. You are awesome, RJ, for that.
Yes,
I understand that because if she didn't have anybody else, then you would step up to the plate and be like, I'm going to go ahead and help in some kind of way because I don't want to see her down on her luck, But if she has family that can support her or a new man, that's not your place. I definitely understand that. Now, that's a man's role because men are definitely stronger than women. But me, go ahead and build up some chump that did me dirty, I am not there if he has family or not. Next question. I'm telling you the truth.
That has spoken.
So anyway, that was fantastic. What do you guys think about today's polls and questions and answers?
I think that we covered a lot of good topics, and hopefully we answer some questions.
I learned something today. I learned that women are mean. So yeah, I learned a lot.
Yeah, that was good today. The conversation today probably can enlighten a lot of people. Change their mind.
Right.
A lot of things.
Well, before I close out the show, RJ, please tell us about the things that you do. We know that you are a bass player. Tell us more about your music.
Well, thank you. I want to, first of all, thank you for having me on the show, and then thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak about my music. As you mentioned, I'm a bass player. I play bass in my own band. I'm a bass player for hire. I play with other bands. I teach bass, and I also am a recording artist. I have an album, and I continue to record new music in the studio. I play a little keyboards, too, and I sing. So, that's what fundamentally is happening. As you know, because we work together, you are in both of my music videos, and it's always an honor to work with Jazz. I mean, she's just always there and always dependable, and she's a very good singer. I don't know anybody who can perform like her, because I've seen her for a whole show, not for my band but for another band. I've seen her perform the whole night. She had on heels, and she was dancing and singing and smiling the whole time. So, hats off to you. But I work with a lot of great people. I've been booked several times by Terrence Young, my bands. I've had the opportunity to play bass for Karen LaSalle when she opened for Aunt Stone. I had a chance to play for Miss Jane when she opened for Candy Burris of the Atlanta Housewives. And I continue to try to do stuff to make it happen. Tonight, my band Jazzmatic will be in Irmo at the Valentine Community Center, 1009 Bickley Road, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. So that's what's happening.
That is fantastic. Well, of course, I will be there.
Thank you. Awesome. Thank you.
eBay, are you still there?
Yeah.
Well, me and eBay were in a band together as well, so you remember them days. I actually kind of do miss them days. We need to come up with something else to do.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, we might actually need to talk to RJ. Me and you and our friend Lydia can maybe do some work with RJ in the near future. That would be fantastic.
Yeah.
Let me put a group together with y'all in a band, and that would be awesome. That would be great.
Yeah. I think we need to go ahead and talk about this. Yeah, so we will probably be on the phone a little longer after we close out this session. But okay. Any final words from anybody? Rayne.
No, another great show, and I just am glad to be a part of it.
Okay, and eBay?
People stay positive and always listen from two sides, not just your side. Stay positive and know that it could be worse. Peace and blessings all around.
RJ?
Again, thank you, Jazz, for allowing me to be on the show. Nice being on the show with Rayne and Ebony and eBay. I'm sorry, eBay. And to you listeners out there, thanks for, being who you are, and, leave road rage alone. If you're going to be the person who's nice enough to let somebody get in front of you at the grocery store because they have only one item and you have a million, that same person, let them in traffic if it's a busy traffic time. I don't understand it. Leave the road rage alone. That's all I got.
Okay. Well, I had a fantastic time speaking with all you guys. I thank you once again for joining us today. One thing I wanted to add in from last week's show, we talked about the Democratic debate, and I wanted to add in there Governor Lincoln Chafee, Friday, October 23rd, decided to drop out of the Democratic nomination for 2016 U.S. presidential election. And so they're still stating that Hillary Clinton is still in the lead, which I do not believe, but that's what they're stating. You know, she may have them in her pocket, but that is what they are stating. But
wow.
just to give you that further information that Lincoln Chafee is out of the race to become president, and so we still have our 3 or 4 other candidates.
Didn't Jim Webb drop out too?
Jim Webb did drop out? I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, I think he dropped out at the beginning of last week on Monday.
Oh, goodness. I totally missed that one. Oh, wow.
Me too.
Wow. Oh, my goodness. Wow. Well, it's getting tighter now, guys. I'm excited. Like I said, like last week, I'm excited to see what's going to happen. And I'll be making my decision very soon about future plans. But I already know who I'm going for, and everybody in the world already know who I am voting for. But that's it. That's all I have. It's been real, and there's a number of ways to find us. We are on Twitter, Facebook, SoundCloud, YouTube, Spreaker, Blogspot, and also Tumblr. And you can find us through all of those just by putting in I5 The Heat. You can go to Facebook, and each one of those websites is on my Facebook account. So that's Facebook.com/I5 The Heat, and you can find all the other websites through Facebook. It's been real being here with you guys, and I'm excited for next week, and we'll have some more hot topics for you. This is I5 The Heat.